Okay. Hi, Kim. Hi, Margot.
Hello. I'm going to go grab some lunch real quick and come back.
Let's see. Were you actually talking, Kim? I'm trying to make sure the audio is working right.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm coming right back.
Okay. Let's just keep checking this. There we go. Hi, Amanda. How are you today? Okay. Hey, Kurt.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Awesome.
So we're going to give everybody a couple more minutes before we kick this off. And if you have a camera and if you have speakers, if you have, the ability to talk, it'd be awesome if you could. And we have Doug Campbell in the room, maybe our only participant in person today. It's better in person, Doug. No, anything's great as long as you guys are here to learn. And I really am excited for you guys to hear Johnny speak. And right at noon, I'll kick it off and let you guys know about him and why he's our special guest speaker today, so that you guys can get a few takeaways from him as well. And his might be a little, so don't be worried. That's why this is called Facebook for All Ages. So Johnny's going to have some success stories, of course. And yet we're going to start a little bit lower. So his is your aspirational story. You want to get to where Johnny's at. And then we're going to move into and take it just a little bit lower level to make sure everybody knows what they're doing. I already had a few people before the call reach out to me of how to start a page. So we already set their pages up for them. So again, I'm just going to reiterate that this class, we're not setting up pages. We're going to show you how to use your pages and enhance your pages. So that will be fun here in a few minutes. So yeah, now I love it because I feel like we have market centers represented. It's not just one market center today, which is awesome. Who's here from Tampa Properties? Got one, Pamela. I know you're from Tampa Properties. Kelly's Tampa Properties. Awesome. Jamie, what market center are you with?
Oh, I'm over at the Bel Air Center.
You're at Bel Air. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Coast Side.
Yeah, I think we call that office 3 different names. It's a great office, but it's always like, oh, which one? Okay, Charles, you're at Tampa Properties too. Awesome. And for those of you who can't see him, Doug Campbell is in the room. He's with Clearwater, Palm Harbor, whatever we call our market center. I don't even know anymore. Okay, we'll give him another second. Okay, so we will, and again, guys, if you want to share your camera with us, we would love to see you. We just want everybody to be present as much as possible. And this is a participatory class, so feel free, unmute yourself, talk, whenever you want. You do not have to raise your hand, just chime in. We're all here to learn from each other. So, any question that you're already thinking about, others might have as well. So just for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tisa Dixson. So I'm in our Clearwater Palm Harbor Market Center. I'm also, for anybody who has a team, anybody who's a little bit younger, I am your Keller Williams Young Professionals President, and it's for all of the Ubaldini Market Centers. So this is just something we want to keep putting on. We have a couple of classes, Young Professionals, coming up just to kind of highlight where you can take your careers and things like that. But I wanted to make sure I put that this was for all ages so that you guys didn't think it excluded anybody, because it doesn't. Anytime we're putting on a class, we're just trying to get our chapter a little more well-known. So if you see anything that says Keller Williams Young Professionals on it, everyone is always still more than welcome to join in on all of that. So make sure that you do. So a little bit about myself. I have been in real estate for almost 15 years now, and I love it. I do a lot of my business comes from social media and my sphere of influence that I've gained through social media. So that is why I'm here. I'm going to teach you guys a few things today, and we're just going to talk about ideas, because I think a lot of times what we all run into is content issues. We don't know what to post, when to post it, how often to post, what's too much, what's too little. We're just going to have some conversations about it too. So the guest speaker, he's going to be on in just a couple of minutes. And so before he gets on, Johnny G, he is our manager of Keller Williams Young Professionals International. So he moved from LA to Austin to take over and run. Basically, he has to deal with all of us presidents, all of us chapter members. And so he gets to enhance all of our lives. And he did, when he was in LA, he had a team, and he did most of his business off of social media and sphere of influence. And so I put everybody, you saw the flyer or the calendar invite that probably Kevin sent out, or Michelle, there is a link, and I'm not even going to say his last name because I'm going to butcher it, but you're going to see it's at Johnny G Property, something like that. Follow him on Instagram and follow him on Facebook. Yet if you look back at his Instagram, like when me and Kevin were like, who do we get to be our guest speaker? We were actually trying to find you guys some local businesses here that we thought might help you. And then I was, wow, we just have to have Johnny G. I just won a competition during Mega Camp, and I get how much is it? I think it's a 2-hour spot with Johnny, one-on-one, where we're just going to go over social media. And so I'll bring out any tidbits that I learned from him as well. We just thought it would be great for him to come, pop on, tell you what he did in his business, why it's so important for social media. I know a couple of you guys on here didn't even have social media accounts before yesterday, maybe even before today, but I know that because I talked to some of you, and I'm just checking to see if Johnny's with us yet. Nope. Making sure. And so this is meant, take as little or as much as you want from today. We do these classes like once a month. And there's even another Facebook class coming up. I think it's on the 23rd of this month. So even if you just take a portion of what you're going to pick up from here and implement one thing. And so we're going to go over that at the end of the class too. So in the 5 minutes before Johnny G jumps on and joins us, I'd love everybody, unmute yourselves. What are you here to learn? What are you here to take away? And we're going to write them up because we're going to make sure that we cover all of these things today. So Doug's here. I'm just going to call on Doug. What are you here for today, Doug?
To learn how to make effective social media and
Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to put automation, and we'll talk about that. What else? Why else did you guys join us here today?
Stronger Instagram influence.
Sorry, what was that first word that you said?
Instagram?
You just want Instagram.
Yeah, I would like to know a stronger way to use it or use it more effectively.
Okay. So I'm just going to put strategies.
Perfect.
And misspelling up there. That's good.
Is it okay if I take
Oh yeah. As long as we're like this, we're
I
good.
don't have cookies.
Yeah. Okay. What else are you guys here to learn today?
Successful script responses for raw leads.
Okay. Okay, so I put raw leads, scripts, and follow-up.
I'm hoping to work on the flow. So we do a Facebook ad and they click on it. And then what do we have there? Like what kind of page really is the best, a landing page or a video? And then
Okay, we're going to talk about your meaning command ads, right, Kelly?
Kelly, I'm sorry?
You said command. Are you meaning the command
Yes.
ad?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome.
Doug, did you have something else?
Yeah, video.
Video. What about video, Doug? Anything?
Does it work? Can we use it?
Oh, okay. Okay. Who else has got anything?
I'd like
it's
the difference or the right menu or recipe of personal versus ads.
Good call. I'm going to put personal versus business, and we will jump into that.
I have one regarding the cost. I mean, I've spent money on ads through Facebook before, and I hadn't seen an effective response back. So I make sure that I'm doing my dollars in the right place.
Okay, so let's talk about ROI for sure. Because, right, we don't want to be spending money if we're not getting anything out of it. So let's figure out how we can use our money in the best ways. Who else has something they want to learn today?
Learning new techniques to bring in more leads.
Okay. Leads. How are we getting leads? All right. Who else has something?
Successful strategy to, attract more customers and connection with the command system.
Okay. I'm going to put attraction and content because I think that's a big way that we can all gain some people. What else, guys? We got a good list going. Anything else we want to learn today? No? It is a lot, Doug. I know. It's a lot. But we're going to cover as much as humanly possible and get through this because I think these are all very important. And a lot of this, I think, comes down to, even if we don't, the said Facebook and Instagram today, but even if we don't get to too much of Instagram and stories and things like that, I think that these topics are a little bit more relevant to you guys. But you guys make sure to chime in and tell me if you want to go in a different direction. But I think covering these topics will best serve you because I think, who was I talked to Pam earlier and I told her, I'm like, even if you just take the Facebook and implement it today, let's not even worry about Instagram. So we're just going to go through, and as far as we get, we're definitely at least going to cover all of these topics. And then we might have some time to dive into more, but we'll see what it kind of leads us down in the road. So let me see if our guest is on here yet. 1 second, guys. Nope, but he should be popping in any second.
Hello, Tisa.
Oh, you are here.
I'm hiding amongst the crowd.
You are. I totally missed you, Johnny. Sorry.
How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. So this is your market center, Tisa.
Well, this is actually 4 market centers. We all have the same OP.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here today. And I am here to talk about some social media, right?
Yes, and how you've had success, and what are a few of the highs. Told them you might give a little bit more in depth, and they're going to go to implement today. But they're going to take one thing at least that you say, and we're going to implement that. So you just take it on, and they just gave me a whole list of things that we're going to talk about after you're done talking. So
It's almost as if you've read that book called The One Thing, Tisa, in regards to the implementation. And I can't really stress that enough. That's a great job leading this group, Tisa. Is, you know, I think with these conversations that there's a lot of shiny objects, and we're going to almost want everything after. We're going to want every single type of social media. And at the same time, I think it all goes back to what's the purpose of why we're doing it, right? So I think if you take anything away from my short time with you guys today, it's going to be figuring out at the end, what's the goal of your social media, right? And if it's for other people, it's going to be to get leads. For other people, it's going to be brand. For other people, it's going to be a combination of the two of them. But the second you get 100% clarity on why you're doing what you're doing, it becomes the filter that you put all of your decisions through in regards to any of your social media posts. So I have a friend, I was recently advising him, and he actually is a hotel broker. And he recently came to me for advice on social media. And he said, hey, I lost a deal because they Googled me and not much showed up. Like, my website's not search engine optimized. I don't have like a business Facebook page. I don't really talk about it on my personal Facebook page. I don't have an Instagram for our hotel brokerage. And I asked him, I was curious to learn, like, what does pipeline look like? And he said it was actually really good. He had so many leads, he didn't really know what to do with them. So I went back to the issue, like the pain point of him losing a deal because his clients wanted to verify his legitimacy in the industry. And upon doing a search, they weren't able to verify it. So for someone like him, if that might be someone like you, if I were to Google you and nothing comes up about real estate, the purpose of your social media may be that you need a brand, that you need presence. The great thing about social media is you don't necessarily need to be present the entire time. You can create presence and allow it to live out there on the different social media networks. It reminds me of, if any of you have gone fishing before, and you guys are out in Tampa, I feel like there's gotta be some fisher people out there. It's like one of those, you put that little rod out and you could have your other pole, right? You could be making your cold calls, lead generating, but you've put that rod out and that might catch a fish as well. And that's how I view social media, is you really wanna create presence, you wanna create this brand, and whether you choose it as to be one of your lead generation strategies or not is ultimately going to be up to you. So if you do want to do it as some sort of a lead generation strategy, it typically goes really like hand in hand with your sphere of influence lever. You're already friends with these people on Facebook, that maybe they're already following you on Instagram, and maybe in your system of sphere of influence touches, you're already writing holiday cards, birthday cards, thank you notes after buyer consults, listing presentation. And just adding the social media lever could be very easy. You could take literally 20 minutes a day and be very, very purposeful with it. I think the issue with social media is we oftentimes get lost inside of it. So we'll go to check our Facebook, and before we know it, an hour and a half has gone by and we've seen like 17 YouTube videos about squirrels or chipmunks or something weird that we had no intention of doing, right? You have to be very, very purposeful. You could do what I call a 20-10-5-3, which is literally, it all starts with your calendar, time blocking 20 minutes so you don't get sucked in. And we're going in there very, very purposefully. You can like 10 people's posts, and now that world is, you can like things, you can love things. Maybe if something sad happens in somebody's life on Facebook, you could care about that, but it's just a form of connecting with potential clients or sphere of influence. And you can do 5 comments. The easiest way for comments is you can just look at whose birthday is it in my sphere of influence, right? And then 3 direct messages. If you were just to do that 20-10, so 20 minutes, 10 likes, 5 comments, 3 direct messages, just from the direct messages alone, assuming all your sphere of influence responds to you, you would literally have 60 conversations going. They don't even necessarily need to be about real estate. But here's the whole kicker. It's what do they see when they click on your profile? So if you're writing them a happy birthday post on their profile, your picture's on their profile wishing them a happy birthday. What's in that picture? Is it you holding a bottle of Jose Cuervo? Because if it is, they probably don't want to trust you with their number one, their biggest asset that they have, right? But if it's you dressed, you know, where I used to sell real estate in Los Angeles, we had to be in suits, but none of us wore ties. It was more of like a casual suit type thing. I don't know what the style is. You need to mirror and match the style of wherever you're selling. So whatever that is for Tampa Bay, you want to dress like a real estate agent. You want to talk like a real estate agent. You are ultimately the expert. And anytime they see you on their profile, these multiple times as you're commenting, as you're wishing them happy birthdays, as you're direct messaging them, the second they click your profile, they need to have that experience consistently, professionally over a matter of time. You will gain mind share just through social media, just through that alone. So a couple of questions that always come up. Business, personal, or both, right? Did anyone come into this today wanting to know, should I have a business page? Should I have a completely separate personal page? Should I integrate the two of them? Does anyone? Show of hands, thumbs up? Okay, here's the deal. Someone once asked me, what's the better camera? Is it Nikon or is it Canon? And the answer to that, it's the one that you use. So if I'm going on a hike, I think the best camera might be an iPhone, because I don't know if I want to lug around this big camera, but I'm going to use the iPhone to capture photos, right? So if you're going to actually feed two different machines, where you want to create one business one that you're actually going to consistently feed, then I'd encourage you to do that. However, for me, the way I did it, because I'm lazy and I'm a little bit more simple, is I integrated the two of them. So for instance, when it came to creating a handle on Instagram, my handle's Johnny G Properties. If I had a friend that wanted to tag me in an Instagram story because we were hanging out, they had to tag me using the word properties. Talk about over time, somebody seeing your name next to the word real estate over years and years and years. Think about the impact that that can have. Now, for some of you, your personal lives are, you don't want to integrate your personal life and your business life, and that's completely okay. But for those types of people, you could have two. But I definitely encourage you to have at least one social media account, Facebook, Instagram, and integrate real estate in it the best way you can. The way I used to do it was 3 personal posts and then 1 business post. For instance, I'm friends with dentists on Facebook and Instagram, and to be honest with you, if they were showing me pictures of teeth every day and every single post was their patient's teeth, I don't think I'd want to see that, and I'd probably unfollow them because I have got no interest in teeth or dentistry, right? So we can't assume that our friends have this crazy interest to learn about every single open house we're doing. And if it's just Instagram posts and you want to do it very subtly, you can post about your personal life, and then that, oh, by the way, I just help my clients buy, sell, or invest in this piece of real estate as well. Does that make sense? I've got some tips and strategies I can leave you with, some topics, but I want to open the floor for questions. If there's anything specifically that's come up, either an aha or a question that you've had during this call so far.
I just had I missed the, what you just stated because I lost service, but John, if you can just state, you said it's 3 personal and 1 business. Is that what you stated?
That was me, because like if in the dentist example, if I'm seeing my dentist friend post a picture with his friends at Disneyland or post a picture with his family, I'm excited about it. I'm liking it. I'm commenting on it. And then every now and then he shows himself in his dentist gear, working on a patient or something like that, then that's great. I'm just saying, when people get overwhelmed, where it's the same thing over, but they didn't subscribe to that, you just ask them to be their friend on Facebook, right? And then you're hitting them over and over and over and over with real estate instead of subtly introducing it. It used to be when Facebook started back in 2004, you actually had to unfriend the person. And then what did they come up with about 5 years ago? Now you can stay friends with them, but just not follow their feed anymore. So anybody that you're annoying out there on Facebook can unfollow you and you'd have no idea. It still shows you're friends with them. So that's what I'm saying for your Facebook. If you want to have subtle touches that you're in real estate, you could have a separate business Facebook page. However, when a friend goes to like that page, it's almost weird if you provide anything personal on your business page, because it should be all about whatever they just subscribe to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All
What else? Any other questions?
I had one. You had mentioned 20 minutes, 10 likes, 10 comments. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, 10 likes, 5 comments, and 3 direct messages. It's just a way to be very purposeful with your time. The likes, that's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people like stuff, they don't even read it, right? They just go, they're liking things. The comments, I encourage you to actually connect with the person. So what is it that they did post in the photo? What is it about that you connect with? And by the way, it's not like congratulations on the baby, now you need a 4-bedroom house. You can be thinking that, but again, if your brand is strong enough and if your brand says real estate on your profile, you can just congratulate them on the baby. And when they see you in your suit with your real estate sign or whatever it is, they already know you're in real estate. It's a very subtle touch. And then the 3 direct messages. I find that to be the hardest part because you're always coming up with things to talk about. But what I like to do is if somebody comments on let's say it was a picture of a baby, I might want to get some more information like, all right, hey, congratulations. Like, how's your wife doing? Or, is there anything I can do for you? Just like kind of keep it short, but just check in with different people. And that's going to organically help you get into a lot of conversations. I always think the real estate sell, I was a very much like, oh, by the way, I sell real estate. I think everybody knew it, right? If you're in this long enough and you consistently, you're talking about it, you're always asking your friends, hey, how's work going? And they tell you how work's going. And then what do they say to you? How about you? Oh, it's amazing. I just helped 4 clients buy houses just like you. They're in similar life situations just like you. But it's always, it's just like part of the whole package deal of being in relationship with them. If that's it, Tisa, this is an easy crowd, Tisa.
Okay, you got a question.
Yes, Karen, let's help you out.
I'm having a hard time locating, can you hear me? Okay. Yes. I'm having a hard time locating articles from command to post because I have no problem posting, but I'm just having a hard time locating them. I'm only finding the same few.
Great question. I don't know.
We'll cover that, Amanda.
For instance, I think of Inman News, and they're sending me like 5 articles a day about real estate. So if you're having trouble with one,
I think what I mean, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I better ask now. Does it need to be just strictly geared with Keller Williams? That's what I mean. Or can I be pulling from other areas? Do you encourage that, or just to stick with Keller Williams?
Expert. You're the expert in real estate.
Okay.
It does not need to be Keller Williams. I've seen clients go with their
Realtor.com. Yeah.
I used to work with Berkshire Hathaway, and I would help someone buy a house. And I remember I was selling someone's house a couple of years later, and I had my big red Keller Williams sign in their front yard. And we're getting towards the end of the deal, and they're like, did you change brokerages? And I was like, yes, this whole time, everything about like my listing agreement, every single thing is like Keller Williams. They don't know. They know all like the big brands.
Yeah.
But they typically go with their clients for a lifetime if you're doing your job correctly and remaining in relationship with them indefinitely.
Okay.
Tisa, is there anything else specifically you wanted me to cover?
No, I think that was great. And just going through your 20-10-5-3, I think if anybody took anything away from the class or even away from just your segment, like go do that. Like that, it keeps you from getting lost in Facebook land because we all do it. And it keeps you purposeful when you're there because we just sometimes, I think a lot of people, that is really bad behind me, sorry. I'm getting double, triple, quadruple reflection of myself.
I saw myself in that screen too. I was like, uh-oh.
So I think that just doing that, it is so helpful to people because sometimes they just don't know when to post, if it's, should they be doing this or that? So taking that simple rule of thumb that you just said, I mean, it's easy. That's easy. Even if you don't like creating posts for your business page or you don't have articles, you can comment on your friends' posts.
100%.
Like that's something you can do. So I think that was perfect, just showing how simple we can go to get some really big results.
Amazing. I'm going to leave you guys with 5 tips and then I will not bother you. Tisa, they're all yours. But first off, thank you guys for allowing me to be in this meeting today.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
And I know Tisa, of course, a Young Professionals chapter, I believe on November 6th. Is that correct, Tisa?
It sure is.
Okay, we're super excited about that. She's doing a wonderful job. All right, so some ideas for either Instagram posts, Facebook posts. It could be any sort of like a themed Ask Me Anything. So for instance, if I were to say, hey, next Wednesday, I'm gonna go on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, and I'm gonna do a first-time homebuyers Ask Me Anything. So if you've ever had a question, any question about buying a home, but you felt, is that a stupid question? This is a very safe place to come and ask that question, right? Imagine if you were to do that on a monthly basis, like the first Wednesday at 7 p.m., Tisa hosts, Ask Me Anything for first-time home buyers. You then will become, your friends will be referring clients to at least go check you out and learn a thing or two from you, if not use you as a real estate agent. Open houses, I don't know, it's different all over the country right now given the pandemic, but if you're sitting in an open house, you definitely want to post about it, maybe give a quick tour of the house, ask something like, who wants to live in this 3-bedroom, 2-bath for less than $500,000, and then you'll get an influx of people messaging you, direct messaging you instead of you doing the 3 to them. That's always nice, right? Marketing may come to us. Sharing testimonials, get ratings. So if you do use any of the big websites like realtor.com or something to get ratings, any sort of testimonials are good. I have friends on Instagram that they will actually post as their Instagram posts something their client said about them, and it might be next to a picture of them in their real estate getup. So new contact strategies. Let me see about this. I wrote this one down. Let me just suss it out real quick. So any sort of so like things you wish you would have known. So it could be like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I just sold my house. It was the 3rd house I've sold of my personal residences. If I were to sell my first house for the first time, these are all the mistakes I made. This is what I wish I would have known if I were going to sell my house for the first time, because clients or potential clients see that as an item of value. And lastly, especially given everything with the pandemic, any sort of social connecting with small businesses for any sort of partnership. So I remember I went and sold a house in this small community, and there was this one agent who had like 50% market share. He like literally sold every single house in this community. And I was like, how do I break into this community? So I went to the local coffee shop. It was called Bean Scene. And they were like anti-Starbucks type community, like the real small community. And everyone loved in that community this drink called the Bean Scene Blast. And I bought 20 Bean Scene Blast coupons. And on social media, I did a big event. I invited everyone to my open house via Facebook. I said the first 20 people to come to my open house get a free Bean Scene Blast on me. And literally the first 20 people to come got the coupon. And not only was I posting about it, then Bean Scene was like, hey, if you want free Bean Scene, go to this open house. So then I became part of the community and had an incredible house or experience selling that house. So those are just a couple ideas I have. Take whatever you want from that, leave whatever you want from that. Maybe none of them resonate with you, but just some ideas of fun ways to generate some buzz on social media.
Those are awesome, Johnny. Yeah, we're going to jump in and talk about content because I always say that's what a lot of people struggle with. They just don't know what to post. They don't know what to do. So
I want to know how this goes. So hit me up later on, Tisa.
I will. And I appreciate you, Johnny.
Of course, I appreciate you too.
We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Okay. So I think we just got some great tidbits. So absolutely. I mean, I really love the 20, 10, 5, 3. If you guys, it's just easy, right? So let's make it easy. So our first easy is effective social media posts. So Doug, were you the one that asked that question?
No.
Who was the first one that said
That would be a good one to know.
effective social media posts? Well, I was going to ask somebody, whoever asked that, if they want to expound upon that, because I think that we can take this a couple of different ways. So I'm going to start screen sharing now, guys. Hold on a second. Let me just do that.
Oh, I might have asked that.
I think you did.
I did ask. Yeah, because I was looking at automation as the second one.
Yes. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm just getting up my screen so that we can jump in. Okay. So I'm just going to bring up Facebook. So effective posts. I think that that's where we kind of come into everything, and it can be a little bit different. And the reason I say that is because really, I guess before we start on this one, I want you guys to think of your social media. What is, like Johnny was saying, what's your purpose? Bless you. Some people are all about, so I love to use mine, just as an example. It's my brand. It is everything about me. I'm putting it out there. I am all over everything. I might look all over the place, but it totally works for me. But I like Instagram. I like Facebook. Those are two that I primarily stay with because that's where my people are. Some of you guys might be like, I don't know anybody on Instagram, and it might not be the place for you, and that's okay. It's just determining what are you using it for. Even if, because there's been some conversations I've heard, even if you're like, I don't want anything to do with Facebook, I just need this page so that I can run command ads. I've heard a lot of people say that. So what I want you to go back is the first thing that Johnny said was that somebody checked for presence and they didn't have any. And I've heard many people say, I don't need to do anything with my Facebook page. I just have to have it so that I can run ads. It's not true. I want you guys using your Facebook pages, even if it's like as little as once a week. You have to use it and keep posting on it, or else somebody's going to see your command ad running that you're paying money for, click on your name, and then there's going to be nothing on your page. Like, that doesn't seem very professional to anybody. And if you're the real estate expert, I think most people in our country know now that Facebook is a big place for putting real estate out there. We know that everybody has to have presence. So if you don't have presence and all you're here for is to listen about command ads, that's where I want you just to shift your thinking a little bit so that you can build up your page, make it look nice, professional, and be able to find contact information. I think that I get a lot of agent referrals, and I do so by going, I see somebody posting in a referral group, and then I go to their page, and then I can't find their phone number to call them. That drives me crazy. I don't know if anybody else runs into that issue, but I'm like, post your phone number if you're a real estate agent. So before we jump into the effective post, I just want to run down the real simple, how should your page be set up? So you guys might be looking at different Facebook pages than I am. I get it. So there's new Facebook and there's old Facebook. I love new Facebook. It's fairly the same. It just has a little bit different feel about it. So what I wanted to show you though was, here's my photo. That's what I like people to see. Just like Johnny was saying, if you want to wear your suit, your tie, your fishing shirt, whatever your brand is, that's what should be represented right here. And then for your cover photo, this is where I think somewhere, you, well, number one, on your page, you have to have Keller, if you are with Keller Williams, which all of you guys are, in terms of agents, I know there's some other people on the Zoom, but make sure KW, it's got to be on your page somewhere. Some people just put, I could have put Tisa Dixson, Keller Williams Realty. I don't like doing that. I want to set myself apart, so I don't put that in my name, but that is completely up to you. Do make sure whatever you are putting your page name as is that you are following guidelines. So nobody in here should have anything that says realty or properties unless you are using Keller Williams Realty. So I couldn't go and put, oh, I'm going to be Tisa Dixon Realty. No. So make sure you're checking with leadership of the office. If you are thinking of, there's actually like this whole list of words that I'm not going to go through. But there's a whole list of words that you are not allowed to use on your real estate page or on your signs, on your websites. There's so many different places. So keep it simple. You could be Tisa Dixon Realtor, Tisa Dixon Keller Williams Realty. It could just have your team name. Whatever it is, you can have that there, but somewhere on your page, you need to have Keller Williams. So you see up here, there is a logo and it looks a little faded out there. So probably get in trouble for that. That's okay. No compliance police on here yet until I say that and this gets recorded and posted, which I'll change it by then. So what I really wanted to point out was here. So I have my name, I have my phone number, I have my website address, and I have my email. And you might be saying, well, all of that's listed on your page somewhere. Yeah, it is. But I would rather, just like on my website, I want my phone number. Like, how can somebody find me? I want them to be able to find me as soon as possible. So literally, pretty much on every post, I do put my phone number too. I like it to be easy for people because if they're just scrolling through and this is popping up in their feed, I like it to have my phone number on everything. So that's just something you take it. Some people don't like putting their phone number. They don't want to use their phone number. They put their website. What is some way that you can kind of capture their attention and how can they quickly call you if they have a real estate need? So that's what I always like to do. Understandable if that is not you. You can actually add a button. So mine says boost down here because I haven't boosted this. But you can actually add a button that says message me. I don't do that. I find that the calling works a lot better for my people. But again, this is individualized to all of you guys. You guys are going to start to see some themes with who you are marketing to. And so this works for my people. It might not work for yours. So there's always lots of options. So I just wanted to cover the basics. Make sure you fill out everything. Your website, your hours, your address, like make sure people know where you're located. And so like all of these things, typically replies, it's gonna grab that from how quickly you do things, but make sure you have all of the, I don't know, oh, the next one will click, have all of those things there. And then before we get into really good posts and effective social media posts, I wanted to show you guys how there's been a change. So you might not need Hootsuite anymore. I actually got rid of my Hootsuite account. So Hootsuite was a software website. You go and you pay. You can get some for free, but basically most of the time you would pay to get, you know, up to 10 accounts and you could just plan out your whole month, your year if you wanted to, and it would just put out the post when you wanted. They actually, so publishing tools in Facebook have been around for I don't know how long now, a really long time. But what we used to not being able to do, we used to be able to always schedule out our Facebook posts, but we could never schedule out Instagram. And it made this like, oh, well, now I have to use an automation software so that I can make sure that I'm posting to both. So this is your new publishing tools. And if you go and you can click on Try Business Suite, create post, what's going to happen is now it lets you schedule on Instagram. So there's almost no reason that you wouldn't want it to post on Instagram. So I post almost everything on Instagram just as I would Facebook. But there's a couple of differences because I'm not going to post, like I use these infographics sometimes. They don't look right on Instagram. I'm not posting them. I also have, which we're not going to get into too in depth, I have an aesthetic on my Instagram page, and only certain things fit the color scheme and theme that I'm doing, so I don't post those things. Most people don't do that, so it's kind of just as long as it's going to fit the ratios of size, just post them to both. Then you get to, you know, write in whatever you're going to post, and when you go to publish, write test. So, and it's not gonna, just gonna add a photo real quick so that you guys can see how you get to, I don't even know what this is. There we go. So that you can see when I go to publish, I can click schedule a post and schedule it out. And so what that's great for is now we don't need to pay a platform. LinkedIn is so finicky with the posts that it allows you to do. I stopped posting as much as I was on LinkedIn because every time I'd go to post, I was like, oh no, too many words, you can't post the video, blah, blah. So I just stopped having the automation go to that because I was having to custom post anyway. So does that answer your question about using Hootsuite? Okay, yeah. Because now that this changed and we can post to Instagram too, I think it really helps us all out.
Are you using a business Facebook page, or do you do a personal business? Like, is this your business page or your personal page that you're using for both?
So this is my business page.
Okay. And then do you then publish to your business Instagram?
Yes. So I have two separate Instagrams. I have my business Instagram and I have a personal one.
Perfect.
Yes. And so when I post something, like how we were just talking about, you know, 3 personal posts and 1 business post, I just go and I share it right off my page. So I'm one that doesn't always just post business things on my page. I share them so that people see that when I shared something, like here, there's my name. But you'll see this is my personal page now, and I have the same cover photo because I want people to know that I'm a realtor. Right. Again, some of you don't want to do that, and I understand that, but I just go screaming all over town that I'm a real estate agent, and so people just know me for that. But when I post something business-wise, let's find something that I actually posted. Oh, like here. So I shared this on my page, on my personal page, but I shared it right from my business page so that my business page would show up on it.
Gotcha.
So just kind of capturing it back in. But you'll see on my personal page, since I am a, you know, realtor to my friends now, like they tag me in real estate posts. This was obviously the Tom Brady one, of which one of my friends was able to get that one, not me, unfortunately. But so that's, I think that's a good thing when you start having people post on you. Here's one, I did do this one. We're not talking politics, let's not do that on here, but I thought this was the funniest kind of political post. I don't know, it cracked me up. I don't care who you're voting for, but if you use somebody else, you're dead to me. That's maybe one in a while that I'll just post like that, but usually it's sharing off of my business page. That's what I like to do. So let's talk about what's effective. So I think that effective means a few different things here. What are we trying to accomplish? Are we wanting to advertise our listing, advertise an open house? Do we just want good content? So where were you thinking you were going with that question, Doug?
What's going to catch their attention and make them stop?
So I think that the number one thing to make people stop, it's called thumb stopping now. What is a sexy photo that you can use? What is a video? Video gets people stopping way more than anything else, especially videos that look, I just want to say, a little raw. So it's like you're actually talking to somebody. It's not you sitting down and interviewing somebody. Those also do good. Yet when it's overly produced, which they come out great, I'm nothing really against those, but just quick, organic, like, hey, I'm walking down the causeway, look at this dolphin that I'm seeing, or this manatee that's coming up. Like, what is something that you're doing in your daily life that relates to others? Because if you like it, your people might like it too. So it's just really what's engaging, what's the best listing photos that you could put up. So a lot of times it's not the front of the house. Who cares about what's the, front of the house? We've all seen houses. We know what they look like. Do they have a really great bathtub or, a cool wine fridge? Like, what are those things that you could be posting that are not just like on a listing? I will never take all the photos and just put them on Facebook. You're giving everything away. I usually put 4 photos, maybe 3, but 3 to 4. And then I post the link off of my website, not off of Zillow. I see a lot of people in our market centers posting off of Zillow and Realtor.com and places like that when they should be linking people right back to their website. I literally had Command was having an issue one day, and I had a new listing and it would not show up on my website. Like, there was no way, it was not working. So I just didn't post the link. I didn't post any link. I didn't put it to Zillow. I didn't want to, put people there. I was like, message me. I want the info. A client of mine Googled the address instead of messaging me, set up a showing off of Zillow because she thought she was talking to me and she thought she was setting up an appointment with me. And she ended up, and I was like, oh, hey girl, I saw that you were interested in this. And she's like, oh yeah, you're meeting me for the showing at, noon, right? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, no. Well, I went on there and it said contact list agent, and I did. And I'm like, uh-oh, you got somebody else showing up to meet ya. And so anyway, the point is, link it to your website. That was a fluke that I knew I couldn't.
How do you do that?
What do you mean?
If I put a picture of the listing on Facebook, how do I get them to come to my website?
So I go directly. So I don't like posting the link because they look a little ugly. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, let's just search. I just want to show you what I do to make these more effective. If I can get a property to come up. Okay. So I take this, say this was your new listing or new open house, whatever it was. I actually use Bitly. And so instead of having this kind of big junky looking URL, I just use Bitly. It's a shortener, and then it pops up, and then I can copy this link and I can change the link. So maybe I want it to say north side, which is probably taken, but we'll go with it. Yeah, north side, say Clearwater. So now my link for everybody to get to my new listing on Northside Drive is bit.ly/Northside Clearwater. And they click on that I post on Facebook, and boom, they're at my website.
So you put the Bitly in the post.
I do. I always make sure that I have Bitly, and I just like it because it looks a lot cleaner than just posting the whole thing. So effective, make sure that you're posting. I always like to give, I don't even use bullets, these little lines. Let me show you. So I like to make it so that it's neat and clean. I'm not taking the entire MLS and putting it in there. Like my description that I wrote, I don't want any of that in my posting. I just want like 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, pool home, whatever the highlighted features that you're going to use. I do a lot of posting, sorry guys, to make it effective. And use emojis. Emojis are great for the algorithms. And I say that, and I'm just going to go back. We're going to skip back to what Johnny said about the 3 or 5 comments a day. So if they used emojis in their post, you want to use emojis when you're responding to them. Facebook likes like whatever you're doing in similarities, that's what they do. If they don't use emojis, you don't use emojis. So making sure that you are going through and doing what the other person is doing.
I have a question, Tisa.
Yeah.
Thank you. Where in Command are you able to pull extra articles, as opposed to just like the cute little video with the, because I've posted a couple, but I feel like I'm missing an extra in Command on Facebook social posts.
Yeah, so you're really not. There's a couple that you get to choose from, and then it wants you to go into designs and create your own. So you can
Okay.
pull in graphics from other locations. I love using KCM blog. Whether you subscribe to it, you can pay for a service. If you guys come to Gary Ubaldini's masterminds that he puts on once a month, like that, those are the articles that he gives out. I think they're great articles. And they put one out, I think it's every day. They have a new article.
All right,
every
so I'm not missing anything. All right, thanks. So you have to create your own, okay?
Mm-hmm. So, like on
this, make sure I'm creating the right thing.
What was the name of the, who you were recommending that we follow?
KCM blog. It's Keeping Current Matters.
And KCM?
Mm-hmm.
It stands for what?
Keeping Current Matters.
KCM. Thank you.
So it was actually this month. This month I stopped subscribing. Yeah. I like the information. Do I think that it's worth it? It could be. But I stopped paying. It was just this month though. But I think I've used it for like 2 years before canceling. But yeah. So you can see this one here. It's short and sweet. It's about a listing. I'm big on hashtags though, so I do use those, but I always have my phone number. So having, I don't know why that Wednesday's popped up and I can't get it to move. That it's just whatever's really quick about the property. You don't need everything. Oh, look at that. The battery is dying. So hold on, I'm gonna have to plug in, guys. So this could come across as an effective post. The other ones that are effective are videos, are hugely effective, and just in general, asking questions. So what is a question that you could ask to anybody? I mean, there's just so many, but it's like thinking, you know who does a great job every single, I think it's every day. What's his name? I don't think it was Sean Reddy. Hold on. Let's look. So I'll tell you who does good. So the reason that questions are great is because all of a sudden you have engagement. Maybe it's him on his business page does it. But I'll tell you, the most engagement that I've gotten in a long time is I posted of what temperature do you guys keep your house at? I think I got like 70 comments off of that. So it's, well, that was funny because, it was an argument at home. Like, no, I don't think anybody else keeps their house this cold. So that's where it came from. But thinking of those questions, like, I'm going to find out. I think it is Sean Reddy who posts on his business page almost every day. Just ask a question. It doesn't even have to be real estate related. It's all about getting responses. That is what you're doing. Okay, so guys, we're going to take a 2-minute break while I plug in my power cord, but feel free to discuss amongst yourselves, and I'm going to be right back in like 2 minutes. Or you can use the time as a quick break. Okay. And we're back. All right, so let's talk real quick about those effective, sorry, there's no power strip here. It's very odd. Let me pull this over. So something that I like to think about, I'm just gonna stop sharing for a second so you guys can see me right on the board. So when we're developing our effective social media posts, basically the more personal, the more vulnerable, the more sexy the videos, that anything can be, that's what's gonna be more effective. And I want you to watch what you're putting up there and who responds. And we're gonna go through that in a few minutes because I want you to be able to know that because you create content one time, you can use it again and again. You don't have to recreate the wheel because the likelihood that your 5,000 or 3,000, however many thousands of friends that you have on Facebook actually saw it the first time around, it's pretty unlikely. So we're gonna go through that in a second. But what I wanted to give you guys was a really, it's what I like to follow. So it's we make up. Okay. There we go. So I like to make up for every day of the week. I need a hashtag. So like Monday is, these are not mine, but you can come up with your own. You can use these Market Mondays. So what's something on Mondays that you could do for Market Mondays? Anyone? Go ahead. Somebody can talk.
Hey, how about you know, like what happened over the weekend? Because you know a lot of closings happen on Fridays, and I'm pretty sure if you pulled like you know like you pull like a 3-day you know report from the MLS on what happened as far as like you know closings, that could be a good thing to put out there.
That is a great thing. You can take a screenshot right out of the MLS, or you can take those numbers and you can put them into, I think there's some templates in Command actually. You can put them right in there and come up with your own market snapshot for over the weekend. Because you are right, because how many properties actually go under, they close on Fridays a lot of times and they go under contract over the weekend because of open houses.
Yeah, so the one I used to use, I stopped using, I should probably start using it again, but the one I used to use was, it had, you know, new listings, pendings, and closings.
Yeah.
I used to post that on Mondays.
And literally, if you go into your MLS and it's right in the front, you just take a screenshot and post it. It could be as easy as that. So that's definitely Market Mondays. You could totally cover that. So what?
Command has a template for it, by the way.
Yep, Command has some. Yeah. So Tuesdays, what if we're just going along? Could we have touring Tuesdays? What would you do there? Are you guys all supposed to? We're all supposed to. I'm not just saying you guys, me too. Are we supposed to be previewing houses? Yes. So could we, while we're out doing our job of previewing homes, could we take a quick video of a tour that we're on? Yes. As long as it doesn't, let's make sure we're, you know, not filming people's personal photos or really inside their house. I like to do this when I'm outside of a house so that I'm not showing personal effects of anyone. So you guys come up with your own criteria, but I like doing touring Tuesdays. I also like doing touring Tuesdays. I should be determining what open house that I'm gonna do on Monday. So by Tuesday, I'm going to preview the house. So could the touring Tuesday be either my new listing or the open house that I'm doing for the weekend? Absolutely. So I love touring Tuesdays. And you can also have testimonial Tuesdays, right? So there's also, Testimonial Tuesdays. So that's definitely a possibility. So what's something for Wednesday? Who has an idea of what we could do on Wednesdays? I'm just kind of keeping it cheesy with, you know, going in the theme here. So I'm just going to say, could we have Wisdom Wednesdays? Could you record a tip of, you know what? I had this question and I thought all of you guys should know what the answer is too. The question is, when do I get my keys? Do you ever have a buyer ask you that question? Like, when do I get them? They're like, I want them at the closing table. And sometimes you have to tell them no, right? So could you have Wisdom Wednesday? Could we also have Wacky Wednesday? Is there some crazy thing that you took a photo of? We've all been in that house before. And you're like, what do you think of this wallpaper? So there's so many things that you can go and theme it off of, you know, Winning Wednesdays, Wealth Building Wednesdays. It doesn't have to be themed like mine, but I like just coming up with something for every day of the week so that I know here's what I'm going to post. And then we've got Thursday. Thursday, again, it could be Testimonial Thursday. It could be Touring Thursday. It could be whatever you want it to be. So what could you do on Thursday, guys?
Weekend planning.
Weekend planning. So Doug just said weekend planning. So is Thursday the perfect day to post? Here's what's happening this weekend in Tampa Bay or your town, whatever you're going to be hyper local or not. Could you post about all those events coming up? Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you go to like Tampa Bay is awesome, Dunedin is awesome, all these different Facebook pages, they already put this stuff together for you. Can you copy and paste? How easy is that for a post? And then what about Friday? Fun Friday.
You do Financial Friday.
Financial Friday. That's my go-to. Every Friday, I interview a lender on Facebook, and that's my Financial Friday. So the whole point is we all make it overly complicated of coming up with content because there's a blank slate and we could talk about anything, right? And we don't want to talk about anything. Come up with a very easy weekly theme for yourself. These are literally, mine are written on my calendar, in my Google Calendar. Every day is themed one of these special days. And that way I know, oh, right, I just have to think in the confines of this instead of trying to figure out. And this is a lot, I get. You don't have to post 5 days a week if you don't want to, but this is an idea. If you started posting the market stats every Monday, do you think people would start to become accustomed to that and want to see them every Monday? Exactly. This is all building consistency. That's what this takes. It's not about being motivated to post. It's having the discipline and the consistency to get it done. Because if I'm honest, when we're talking about effective posts, you could have one really great effective post, but if you never do it again, did it really even matter? Did it even happen in the first place? Barely. So we want to keep it consistent, and it could be 2 times a week. It could be 1 time a week. It's what are you comfortable with doing? But I love theming my days so that I don't have to think too much, because that's when I like to plan all of my social media out for the whole week. And then I don't have to go back on and do it. Then I spend my time doing like what Johnny G was talking about, where I'm going to spend 20 minutes and I'm going to like and post and comment and things like that. But I don't want to be coming up with content while I'm worried about why is my closing falling apart. And then I'm thinking, oh, I didn't post on social media today. Oh, but my closing's falling apart. It's this really terrible situation you can get yourself in, and then you just don't post on social media because the closing's more important, of course. And then how many days does it go without you posting?
So you could do all your posts on Monday and schedule.
Mm-hmm. I do everything. I mean, that's just me on Monday. Some people love to do them on Fridays. I do them every Monday morning. I schedule out all the posts for the week, so I do not have to think about it again because it's a lot to think about. Mm-hmm. And you got to be a little bit creative. The only one I don't do my Financial Fridays because I'm doing a video for that. But all of the rest, I make them and I template them, and it just week after week after week. So take that if you want it, because I think that's a very easy way when we're talking about effective posts is making sure that you're being consistent with them, because otherwise it's not going to matter.
Do you reuse a post that gets a good reaction?
Absolutely. So I will go back through, there's a couple of posts I just automatically reuse over and over again. But yeah, I will go through on a monthly basis and what did really well. And I want to see how many likes, how many comments, whatever was the best, and I'm going to pull it and I'm going to use it again. Absolutely. Because you don't want to have to keep using the same things. And when doing videos, I'm posting them everywhere, it's not just a Facebook post. Like when I go Facebook Live with Brian P. every Friday, I take that one post, I then put it on Instagram. I sometimes take screenshots of it and put it on Instagram stories. Then I'll put it on YouTube. I put them everywhere that I possibly can to get as much bandwidth out of one piece of content, because I just don't want to keep creating it. Okay. So let's talk real quick, because this one's a little bit of a quick topic, is videos. So are videos good? Absolutely. The more videos, the better. And if you look at the competition, your competition, like you guys probably all know who you're competing with, right? Look at their Facebook pages, look at their YouTube pages. Are they doing video? The answer is going to be no. They might do one, they might do two, they might do sporadically, but nobody is consistently doing video. So do it. It's going to set you apart. It changes the whole game for you. And I'll tell you, if you're here in our Palm Harbor Market Center, just a shout out to myself and Kevin for having us down there. We converted one of our conference rooms into a recording studio. So we have all the lights, we have backdrops, ready for you to do like even professional, very professional looking videos. But could you just be sitting in your office and shoot a video? Absolutely. It's all about just keep doing them. All of them are good. And people want to talk about time length of videos too, right? So things happen and there's never one rule of thumb, except for how long would you watch that video for? Try to garner that. A lot of people, and I look at them all the time and try to be like, okay, so this was like 3 months ago. Instagram TV was getting big, and all of a sudden you would get so much more reach if you had the 16-minute video. 16 minutes. It's a long video. Who's watching that? No one, except for Instagram is gauging the minutes. That lasted for about a week and a half, and then they said, okay, people are using it now, so now we don't have to boost people for doing these long videos. And then it went back of don't do 16-minute videos. So there's all these things. And I don't want you guys to get stuck in the weeds about what's the right time that you should be doing videos for. Do one. If it's good, people are going to watch it. If it's not, they're not going to watch it. But otherwise, they're still scrolling past it. So just do the videos. Things that are short and sweet usually do get the most reach. So 16-minute videos don't. Yet, to your hardcore followers, they might want to hear you talk about VA loans for 16 minutes, and that's okay. So no videos are bad in my mind. Only the videos that you don't post. I even had somebody, I was like, never do Facebook Live videos. The reason I said that was because they didn't know how to do Facebook Live videos. And so my fear was they were going to be holding the camera sideways, they were going to be tilted, and that's why they shouldn't do Facebook Live videos until I showed them how. Well, they were like, nope, I just want to do them. So they went into the house, they were sideways the entire time, they didn't realize it. And you know what? They got a ton of comments. You know what they were saying? You're sideways, move your phone. But he got a lot of comments. So I'm just saying, yeah, maybe that was not the best advice for me to say not to do it. He learned, he still can't do them, and that's okay too. But all videos are gonna get more attention. So just do them, period. And do them especially when you're walking through houses. If you can do a tour, if you're doing an open house, if you just got a new listing, if you are allowed, you call up another listing agent and say, hey, can I do a virtual tour of the house? Whatever it is, just do it. If somebody's allowing you to do something, do it. So that's my piece about videos, just do them. Let's talk personal versus business. I think we kind of covered this in a couple of different ways, but basically you have to have a business page, number one, to run command ads. So you have to keep that personal page no matter what, because that's how you log in to get to your business page. So just make sure, even if you don't want to use your personal page, you have to have it. Business, you have to have it if you want to run command ads. So I like to keep the business page at all times up to date, like we talked about, just to make sure that when somebody clicks through from my command ad, I have a good looking Facebook page. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Some people don't have business pages because they don't want to put content up on them. I kind of get that, but just do at least a post a week so you at least stay semi-relevant when you're doing your command ads.
Okay, I'm a tech idiot. How to share?
What do you mean?
If I'm on my business page and I share, where does it go?
That is actually a great question, Doug. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. Doug wants to know what happens when I share. Where does it go? So I'm going to show you. One sec, it's being a little slow. So if I want to share this one, share to a group or share to a page. So why is it asking me that? Because I am me. So if I click my actual personal page, now all of a sudden I get different options. Do you see that? So you have to click on your head and it's my profile picture is the same for my personal and for my business page. So, you might have an easier time differentiating between yourselves, but like I can pick any of the pages that I'm on and I can share from that page. So when I do, if I pick
selectively share.
Yes. So now I can share if I'm me. Oh, I can share now. I can share to my newsfeed, which means I get to write something in it, share to my story, send in Messenger, share to a group, share to a page, or share right on a friend's timeline. So when I'm personally me on my page, that is when I get more options. When I am my page, I only get a couple of options. That's because you can't share on a friend's page because you don't have any friends because you're a business page. Does that make sense, Doug? Okay. Yes, so always make sure it's the same thing when you're in an event. Like if you create an open house event or something like that on your page, you have to change, just click on your face, whatever you have there is yours, and you can change back and forth so that you can share to different areas. Okay, so we're gonna go attraction and content real quick. So this is where I think it comes down to what is your brand? So I've taught a branding class in this market center several times, and I teach it to individual agents. And what I always want them to think about is how do you want to be represented? And a lot of people think that I am a single agent or I'm an agent on a team and I don't need to have my own brand. That's in the future. I'm gonna determine that sometime other. I just need to sell some houses right now. And in actuality, if you determine your brand right now, everything in life becomes easier. And that's not an over exaggeration. So when you are developing, like even down to what are people gonna call you? Like, are you, Tisa Dixon at Keller Williams Realty? Or I put some weird thing after mine, lifestyle realtor, because that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to sell people a lifestyle, not just a house. So once you have your colors, your name, what is your marketing going to look like and feel like? And the reason I say it makes everything easier is because then you don't have to think about what's my just listed post on Facebook gonna look like? If you already determine that, let's say everybody's using designs, if you already determine what those things are and what you like, then there's no thinking about it again. You do it once and everything's done. You have your business cards, you have your Facebook page, your Instagram, your YouTube. If you determine your brand now, that's who you're gonna be. And it doesn't need to be an aspirational brand. People already like you for you, and that's who you need to be. Like, I'm going to use Mark Wimmer as an example of somebody who is, you know, unapologetically, I can't even talk, unapologetically, I can't talk, himself. And he will show up to a listing appointment in a fishing shirt, not every time, but he's done it before. Because you know what? He fishes and he lives that lifestyle. I've seen Doug Campbell do the same. Doug is sitting here in a polo shirt today. Would I think something's odd about Doug if he came into a suit and tie today? Yes, because I know Doug and I know that's not him. So his client base would also be thinking the same thing, like, what's Doug? Is he going to court today? Like, why is he wearing a suit and tie? So you can develop that, but maybe Doug wants to go back, you know, 10 years in his career and say, that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be that, you know, button-up banker looking realtor. And if that's you, that's you. But there's no reason to change yourself and try to get all of your branding to match something that you're not, because then you're going to be inauthentic and it's not going to go well. People are going to see through it, and people like authenticity. So make sure when you're developing your brand, you're developing your brand, not anybody else's. If you want to start off and, you know, and people do this, they're like, but I wouldn't just be the luxury realtor. I just want to sell $1 million houses. Well, great. If you're already doing that, that's awesome. But are you going to be a different person selling that than what you're doing right now? Maybe not. So why not just start with yourself and then build from there? And I know there's the case for people who build two different brands, one for luxury and one for normal. I think that's a lot of work, to be honest. We're all struggling with even doing this for one business, let alone creating a separate identity. So that's just come up with your branding. And I know all of you are probably thinking, well, we already have our colors picked out. We're Keller Williams, we're red and black, right? No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be red and black. There are special times. You have to use the red on certain things and do that. So make sure, I always say, make sure red goes with everything that you're ever picking out, because you're going to be with red for the rest of your life. But it doesn't just have to be that. You're in Florida. Could you have turquoises and different colors like that? Come up with you and stick with it. So that is very important to me when creating anybody's Facebook pages, because also, like, if you change things, you're going to have to go through and do it all over again. So I like starting with a clean slate of here's who I am, and I'm going to put this on my YouTube, my KW Connect page, my Instagram, everywhere, so that I no longer have to think about it. Because that's where we really get bogged down, is going back and like, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to change it. So come up with your brand, and that's how you're going to attract your content. So if you like, I'll just use myself an example. I love animals, love dogs, love cats, all of it. So what's something that I can do that other people who like cats and dogs would be attracted to? Could I post the funny cat videos? Sure, I don't do that. But I could, people might like that. Could I hold events that involve animals? Absolutely. Could I take a photo of myself with my dogs and use it for my branding? Yes. So it's already doing whatever you like to do and using that for your people, because we all are attracted to the same type of people that we are. So that's going to naturally attract people to your brand, and the consistency and cohesion will keep people coming back for more. And every time they see, you know, something that is like you, like there's one agent I think she's in Fort Lauderdale, and she has flamingos on everything. So when you see a flamingo, you think of her. Could you do that? Absolutely. So I think your attraction starts with you being authentic to yourself.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I make all the stuff, you know, in my Facebook page, my Instagram, and I use a creator Facebook because it's free. That's amazing. But I have now a problem. Everybody follow me, but everybody's broker, realtor, but nobody. Well, I want to, you know, I want to lead. for social media, but everybody's real. I don't know what I do. Probably my hashtag are wrong. I don't know how you, I need leads, but no brokers. I don't need brokers. I don't need agents. I don't know what's going on. What is the problem?
So that's great. So one of our questions up here is strategies. And so hold on one second, guys. I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to start another. So give me just a second. Oh, really? That's weird.
I don't know. You can see my Facebook page or my Instagram. I don't know. I don't know. You can search or give me advice because the people who follow me is interesting. Some of them they ask me for managing his Facebook page, but it's a great idea. But no, it's my goal, right? My goal is make more leads.
Yes, hold on one second. Wi-Fi, I'm connected to the right Wi-Fi. So I think one of the things is people go on, I mean, people do it all the time, and they're like, oh, let's follow each other. And then you get this massive following of other realtors and brokers, right? And you get messages from them like, oh, you should come to this realty and all of those types of things. So it's almost, you just have to ignore your, like, how many friends of mine are in this market center? Probably like 300, right? On my face, at least 300 of the same people. And we probably all have the same thing going on. I don't cater to them. I don't want to post anything they want. I don't usually follow any of the realtors on their business pages because I think it's just clutter and then I'm comparing myself and I just don't like doing that. So I don't follow, hold on, I'm still trying to figure this out, anybody else. And the reason is just because it's all my Palm Harbor, where's screen mirroring? There we go. Okay, so I just don't follow them, but I'm gonna show you in 1 second as soon as this connects through. There we go. I'm gonna show you how to get real people, let's just call them that, that you want seeing your information. So, and this goes into one of our topics, which was Instagram strategies. So my favorite thing to do on Instagram to get new people, right? Because we all know the same people. If we're trying to get actual leads off of it and not just use it for branding and recognition and things like that, what we're gonna do, my favorite thing, is right at the bottom, there is magnifying glass. So I'm gonna go to search. And then I'm gonna search for, I'm gonna go to places, near current location. So you could either do this near current location, I could go Dunedin, whatever. I go near current location. So I'm just picking, let's just say I'm at Planet Fitness. So if I want to click on Planet Fitness, maybe I go to the gym there. I want to see everybody else who's posting photos there. And the reason why, let me see if I can find my gym so that I can actually post and you guys can see that. Hold on. I'm not on somebody else's. Okay, so this is my gym. Nobody posts about this gym, obviously. Oh, here we go. So I'm searching a business. Maybe I'm out at Honeymoon Island. Maybe I'm just sitting on the causeway. Maybe I'm in my house and I want to have all of Dunedin before me. What I do is I go to the recent post. See, I can go to top. Those could be really old, so I don't care about what the top posts in the area are. I go to recent. And the reason that I go to recent is because now these people have something in common with me. either the town that I live in, the gym that I go to, or the school that my kids go to. And I can now comment on these people's information. This guy doesn't, that one does. Okay. Who doesn't? I don't know this person, but she goes to my gym. Could I make a connection just because we have one thing in common? Absolutely. I could tell her nice job, which I probably will go through and do in a minute. I can definitely comment on, oh, here she is again. So look, she's great. She's killing it at the gym. She keeps going back and posting these videos. So this is somebody I should definitely connect with because we go to the same places. It could be, let's just search Dunedin. Dunedin, Florida, let's be specific. And go to recent. So what's something interesting? Like, that's awesome. Where is this studio? Oh, $18,500. That is pricey. So could I comment and connect with this small business owner? Yes. What happens is I would go through, I would comment on Plainsman Gallery, and then I'm going to click this follow button. Why? Because when people follow you on social, when you follow people on social media, all of a sudden they follow you back. It's like magic. They really do. Everybody just like, oh, who's this? I'm going to follow them back. So it's just the point of this is the new place that you can pick up leads. Like, this is totally new. Nobody's doing this, but you have to come up with a strategy to implement it. So doing this one time, am I going to? No. But consistency over time, this is like right here, everybody who's posting in Dunedin, these are your future clients right here. Here's a small business. Here's a small business. Didn't we talk about how we need to connect with those small businesses, especially right now? Like, this is just keep going through. This is your gold mine for content. You can then share, like, oh, there's a DJ every Sunday. Can I share it? Do you see the little paper airplane? Can this be content for me now? Absolutely. So it's, do I want to post it to my story? And once it's in my story, it can ask, do I want to post it somewhere else? So it's using these people's content as your own as well, but just keep going through. Look at that kitty. I love cats, right? So this could be my whole niche, cats of Dunedin. I don't know. Come up with a strategy, and this is how you can find new people. You're not going to be able to use, except for in command, which we're going to talk about in a second, you can't just use Facebook as, hey, you want to buy or sell a house? Yes. And all these people just start messaging you. It really doesn't work like that. It does on command because they're already signing up for a form and it's targeting exactly those people. But when we're just posting on an everyday basis, we are, sorry, let's get rid of that. When we're just posting on an everyday basis, and what our strategy should be is to build relationships so that the leads do just call. I'll tell you, it was when I first moved here like 5 years ago, my husband went to a barber. His name's Eddie. And then Eddie's shop closed down because their lease didn't get renewed, and my husband never went there again. Do you know who I got a call? It was last week from Eddie, who I haven't seen in 4.5 years, saying, oh yeah, I'm always seeing you post on Facebook. I need to buy a house in Spring Hill. He's like, do you go up that far? And I'm like, absolutely. It is consistently posting over time, and you will just get people. I get people all the time off of Facebook now because of how much I post. I barely ever run ads that cost money. So we're going to talk about that next. I barely ever run ads that cost money. And the reason is I'm getting good enough reach and without it. I do put money behind when I'm doing open houses, and I occasionally run an ad that's just for my page to get the information out there to more people. But it's not like I'm spending hundreds of dollars every month on Facebook. And yet I can account for nearly half of my business coming from Facebook. So I think that it's just looking at it, how are you using the tool? Because it can basically be free, and your return on investment is just your time, which again can be a lot. And that's where I think we need to look at it, is how are we utilizing it and being consistent. It's just like if we're having the strategy, like if anybody's done business planning already and you have on your 135, you're going to do open houses. Like, let's say you want to do open houses. That's how you're going to get business. Social media is going to be your number one source of getting people to the open houses. I love open houses just because of the content that they create. You can have, like we talked, touring Tuesdays. You're touring that open house and showing them what's going on. Then you're posting an event that, hey, I'm going to be here. Come see me, friends. Then you're probably going to post some other photos. Then you're going to do a video while you're there. Then you're going to do a video being like, man, that was an awesome open house. And for all those that you missed out, let me know because I'm going to give you a private tour whenever you want it. Could you use your one open house for content all week long? Yes. Do I recommend that be the only thing that you post about? No. But it could be a way if we're lacking the content. Because when people start looking, I mean, we can talk about hashtags all day long, and yet a lot of people aren't on the internet searching for your hashtags. They're not that relevant to everyone that's out there. Especially here we have a lot. Oh, my phone just stopped sharing. Sorry. Well, that's fine. I kind of showed you guys that anyway. So we have a lot of people that barely use social media. So it's okay not to be a whiz at hashtags. Oh, I cannot sit down when that's there, can I? Sorry, let's move that way.
So when you were on Instagram and you were looking and liking people's pages, are you doing that from your business Instagram to their Instagram?
I actually do it to both. Okay. So if I was going to do it from any, I would probably do it from my personal if I could only choose one, because I post plenty of business on my personal page, and yet I want them to recognize me as a realtor. So like my username is Tisa Sells Tampa. So every time they see it, they're seeing, what does she sell? I don't know. Let's find out. Let me click on her page and they see lots of houses. They can assume I'm a realtor. So yes, I like doing it from both though, just because I feel like it's better to do more. But if I was going to choose one, I would just do it for my personal one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that return on investment. So number one, if you guys aren't experts at running ads, don't put much money behind them. I'm talking about like $5 for an open house is good enough. You get better and better and better, and you start seeing results, maybe go to 10. These are not things that we need to take $50 and run an ad for. You will be upset at yourself of like, I didn't get anything for $50. So take it, use $5 and start with that. That is on normal Facebook. So let's talk about command. What are we doing? How much are we spending on command ads, right? So I know that, oh, they recommend $30 for 10 days. Who knows the open house they're doing from 10 days from now? I don't. It's going to be off the market by then, right? Like nothing's lasting. So my thought is I'm not doing it for 10 days. Even a listing I may do for that long just to grab the leads off of them. But the easiest, I think the easiest posts to make and the ones that are getting the most return on investment are for open houses. And that includes virtual open houses. So we can go through, let me see, we're talking about ROI. We're going to cover leads, and leads. Okay, so we can go to command now. Dana, I missed your comment a really long time ago. So if you want to chime in again, sorry. I'm bad about watching the comments. Okay, so let's go back to Facebook. We're going to go to command now. So let's see, command. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. So when we are in command, yes, can you spend $30 and run an ad for 10 days to a new listing just to gather leads? Yes. If you are new at doing command ads, I don't recommend it. I say put $5 out there, see what happens. When you have something good happen, then you can duplicate that same campaign and run it again. Right? So instead of just always like, I'm going to put $30 out there, I'm going to put $30 out there, save your money. Let's see what works. Because that is the only way that That was not good. I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. So here was an ad that I ran. And so it was for a virtual open house. And this meant I was simply running an ad so that I could, didn't have to be there. I just wanted to see what information I was going to get. And it actually landed them on a Zoom registration page because I wanted them to register to come to my virtual open house. And so this is not going to show me all of it, but we're going to walk through this real quick. Actually, I'm just going to duplicate this. So for those of you who don't know, so should go slower, just click on here and I can duplicate the campaign. So I'm going to duplicate and customize. So let's just look at what I did here. And there's a couple of different things that we can do. I mean, I think that if you want leads to follow up on, the command ads are the easiest way to get them, right? Instead of paying a service and competing with other agents, just make your own for yourself. And it can be super simple. So it could be that I've got this listing, and I'll tell you something to not get too caught up with. So we'll start at the beginning. Okay, so virtual open house, 4-bedroom Clearwater, great. What's your goal? So I had an event awareness. This is kind of letting Facebook know what I'm going to be doing. Or sorry, Command know what I'm going to be doing. And the reason is because as time goes on and more of us are doing these, it's going to start recommending different things depending on what button we click. So click what you think is going to happen. Sorry, what was that? What was that? No? Okay. So don't get too tied up, because some people are like, oh, what gets better results, advertising a listing or event awareness? Well, both of them are going to get the same right now. In the long term, though, it's going to be completely different. You're going to get better when you're in your specific category. So use these. Advertise multiple listing. This one is the one that is most different because it lets you have multiple pictures to multiple different listings. So let's just say name is fine. I have some agents who want to run the ad before the listing goes live, right? So maybe you know that your listing is going to go live on Thursday night, and you know it kind of takes like 24 hours to get your ad approved, and you can't pull it up, right? So you can pick a listing and then not use any of the photos or any of the information. So feel free, if I know that I'm doing an open house and I already have photos and it is my listing. So I'm only doing this on my listings because if they forget to put it in, I could get them in trouble by advertising their listing form before it's live within the 24 hours. So I do this when I'm in control of it. But I'll just go in, I'll pick whatever listing is available and I'll clear out all the information. It's just a means to get me into this page so that I can actually do it. So you can pick a listing and it really almost doesn't matter if you're not using that one. So I just want to show you in the ad text, here's where we want to be a little more purposeful. Using emojis is good. Come check out this 4-bedroom. Why leave the comfort and safety of your home when you can tour this house, blah, blah, blah. So that's because it was virtual, right? But could I ask them to come see me in person, that type of thing? What are they checking out? What are they interested in? Do I want, like, you know, generally this auto-populates with whatever the MLS has. Well, that's so wordy. I don't want all of that. I don't want any of that most of the time. So keep it short, simple, to the point. That is really what I want you guys to get across there. The headline, even shorter to the point. What's happening? Why do they need to pay attention? Because I always like it because it's the biggest thing on the page, right? It's the biggest words. So virtual open house at 10 a.m. or on Saturday, whatever. So make that whatever's going to be the biggest. That's what you want there. That could have been, so this home was not that, but I could have been like Clearwater pool home under $250. That's a headline. You know, what's going to make somebody stop and question what you're putting up there? Price, if it's something good, if it's something that's not going to last long, is it a great neighborhood? Whatever it is, that's what you want people stopping there. And so I have click more to register for the open house. So my learn more button, after the form capture, it went right to a Zoom page that they could register. I say Zoom, it was actually Eventbrite, right where they could register. So configure, add, you know, people, you can make things in designs, you can do whatever you want here. I think what needs to happen though, what are the best pictures? The outside of this house, I'll be honest, was very ugly. Like I did not want to show that. I didn't want to show that house, it was ugly. So I thought that it'd be cute to come up with, oh, what's somebody searching for? And so mine said updated Clearwater home for sale, because I thought that's something somebody might Google. And so it just looks a little catchy. It wasn't the best photographed house. So, you know, sometimes you just have to be creative and not worry so much about what the picture is going to be, but it made people stop. And then here's where our links are. So here's where we should talk about where they're going to land at. So this one, obviously, the event is over, so this URL no longer works. But what could we do here? Has anybody heard of creative ideas, or is anybody doing anything right now of where are they leaving people off? Because there's many different options, and so I just want to see what everybody else is doing. Is anybody using these? No? Okay. So let's talk about it then. So we can absolutely put them the follow-up destination. So this happens, somebody fills out, or it automatically fills out the lead capture form, and then it gives them, don't quote me, something to the effect of, thanks, here's the page that you should visit next. It says it much better than that. And so can I just put them to my website? Yeah, I can do that if I wanted to. Can I put them right to the page on my website where that house is at? Absolutely. I mean, I think that's much better than just putting them to your main website, but I like them to land right there. Can they go somewhere? Yes. Where else could I have them land? I think a great one that I really love is take a video. So you can have it going to your YouTube channel, and your video can say something like, hey, thanks for clicking on my link. I really want to talk to you about this, and I'm going to get in touch with you as soon as I can. You know, whatever. So thanks for clicking on my link. I'm going to be in contact with you soon. That means they're seeing you. You're now human. You are not some bot that's taking their information. They are more likely to answer the phone when you call them the next day. Because I get leads and it's late at night. I'm not. It's speed to the lead, right? That's what we always think. I'm not responding at midnight. Not going to happen. Yet, could a video of me saying, hey, thanks for clicking, I'm going to get back to you, could that be my first touch when we're talking about scripts and follow-up? Because really, we can go and put them on a, you know, the next morning, I'm going to check what leads I got. Oh, now they're going to go up on my follow-up plan through command. But now, could it be like 8 hours later after they already clicked? Could it be 10 or 12 hours later? Let's be real. You might have gone to dinner with your family and you're not paying attention to the leads that are coming in. So how could you get in touch with them without actually having to get in touch with them? That's why my favorite is the link it to your YouTube channel where you have created a video saying thanks. I'm glad, we'll use this one for an example. Hey, thanks for clicking on the ad. I'm super excited to show you the house during our virtual open house. Be sure to click, or no, that wouldn't make any sense now. Anyway, so it could be, I'm like, there's no link to click. Click in the, well, yeah, click in the link below in my YouTube description, and it's gonna take you to the registration page. I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow to make sure you are able to register and we get to see each other. So make it something simple. It doesn't have to be complex. What are you going to do next? It's basically the video telling them, what are you going to do? Oh, thanks for clicking on the ad for my new listing. As soon as I'm up, or as soon as I, let's see, come up with a script. So thanks for clicking on the link to my new listing. If you want to check out all of my listings, click on my website below, and I'm going to send you the virtual tour in the morning. Could it be that simple? Yes. It can be anything you want it to be, but when you put your face in a video, it makes it much more personal. Because I'll tell you, I've got some leads, and we probably all do, that they've registered like 5, 6, 7 times on the same ad. And, you know, I probably have some of the same leads Doug has in mine, because we live not that far from each other. We're both, you know, in Dunedin. So we might have the same people in our databases right now. So what's going to set us apart the next time they see one of my ads? It could be the video of me as their landing page, or it could be the video of Doug on his landing page. That's where we're going to start setting ourselves apart. So that's what I love to use as my follow-up destination, is just that video right there. And if you can't come up with anything, put them on your website. Just don't, I like making sure, like we did with the bit.ly link, like I'm not going to put them on this website, although I might. What if I wanted to do running an ad? Hey, do you want to see all the homes that have had a recent price reduction in the last 7 days? In Dunedin, we'll be specific. Oh, they want that list? Great. Then I can set up this search. Where's the more button? Price reduce in the last 7 days in for sale. Let's save it. Oh. Let's see, this is all this area. I could run an ad right now just for recent price reductions, right? And take this link, and that is what I could be using in my command ad and dropping them right there. And then my follow-up plan would be, hey, call them the next day. What are you doing with it? Did you click on the link? Because when you use bit.ly, you can actually track who's gone through and who didn't. So that's also what I like. But that is the way that you can capture and get more engagement. So I know we have landing pages in command, and to be honest, I don't think that they're that crazy useful with these. We have so many better options. But could you take that YouTube video that I was talking about and put it in a landing page? Sure. It's just another step though. There are uses for the landing pages, like doing neighborhood nurtures that are specifically to a neighborhood and they're landing on the neighborhood page where you have information. Yes. For the basis of this class and ease of using Facebook ads and getting leads, I don't think that landing pages at this moment are as effective. Now you take the landing page and you make one for your open houses, that's a different story, because then I don't have to do data entry after an open house. I made them all sign in on my landing page. But for the use of command ads, they can be useful, but it gets too complex for most people. So I think that don't use a landing page when you're using command ads yet. I think it's a layer that you can add on later. Absolutely, because they're great. Just that's my thought on it, that it's too much. It's overkill. So yeah. So yeah, I think running an ad, you should at least run one ad a week. So that's $5, right? After you get a little bit more comfortable, make it 10 if you have that in your budget, right? Lead with revenue. Don't just throw money at something. But do I need to be running $30 a week? No, you really don't, because you do get, these actually work. So you have to follow up with people. So, and sometimes you're getting like in 1 week, like 30 people. And let's be honest, a lot of you on the call aren't calling 30 people over and over and over again and nurturing them to get them to convert. So keep it with $5. I mean, even with $5, I'm getting like 20 and 25 leads. So imagine what that was with 30 people. It's almost like you're wasting money because you're not going to have enough time to follow up and take care of them. So as soon as you get your systems put in place, you can put more money behind it. But I think in the beginning, you just have to go small and get really good at what you're doing before you keep putting money on it. That's my thought. Okay. So leads, ROI.
Can I ask one more question on
Yeah.
that?
You go
And,
for it.
Sorry if I missed it. I've been bouncing between another call. I'm fairly new, and so my question is, and I did not want to make a business Facebook page. I didn't want to start over with generating followers and liked where my current Facebook page is. So is that required? Is there any workaround for purchasing ads? Because your paid ads don't go to your organic leads anyway, right? They go to a targeted database.
No, your ads can go a couple of different places. You can make it go to your database, or it can go out to the general public. Okay. So no, you have to, because right here, you have to, your account, and then you have to have a page that it goes to.
Okay.
And on normal Facebook, not in a command, you can only run paid ads in off of a business page.
Okay. So there's, okay. I'll explore it further.
Yeah, and so when you're starting, like if you have a lot of friends and a lot of following and you get a lot of commenting back and forth, start your business page and then private message all of those people and say, come like my business page. I'm now a realtor, or, you know, whatever your situation is that you're just starting or whatever it might be. And then most of those people will come over and follow you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so what questions do we have?
Hey, so first of all, I wanted to comment and say, you know, thank you for, you know, talking about the doing the ads and stuff like that. You know, it was just a few months ago where it was, you know, it was almost a full-blown argument as to, you know, how to run these Facebook ads, because people were saying you got to do $30, you know, and for 10 days and all that stuff. And I was saying, no. And so that at least
I hear that argument. Yeah, I hear that argument all the time. And I actually get told not to say that during classes. And I really don't care, because I think watching your bottom line is better. So
I think it's a waste of money. Yeah, honestly, because I mean, you know, I do $9 and $12 ads and they work much better. And, you know, I could squeeze in more per day as opposed to that $3 for over 10 days. And you can't even keep up with the, you know, with the leads and stuff like that. And,
yes.
You know, I'll squeeze in $4 or $5 per day, you know, for a 3 or 4 day ad, and I get much better results. So as far as you using like video and stuff like that, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Do you use anything? You know, I've got a few tools that I use, and most of it's on my phone. Are there any particular tools that you use?
Yeah. So number one, I love a gimbal. It just, when you're walking, you're not, you know, doing that, you know, nobody sees every step that you're taking. So love a gimbal. I think that those are like the best investments you can buy. Also, so gimbals, and they can be as cheap as like $50. Like they don't have to be big and fancy whatsoever. And if you have an Android phone, so my husband, I don't know what kind of phone he has, or I tell you guys, he has a built-in gimbal on his phone. It's not really a gimbal, but it does the exact same thing. I even forget what the setting is. So check your phone out too. Number two is lighting. So even when we are sitting in our offices, the way that you're going to look professional, I don't care if your makeup's done, your hair's done, if you have good lighting, you're going to look good. And so I think that's making sure you have good lighting. They make ring lights. I have this little thing that dropped on the floor. It's called Lume Cube. You can get professional lights. You can open the window. You know, whatever it is, get the light on your face. If you have it, the window, well, I'm just going to specify, window should be behind wherever your camera is. So don't have it where the window is behind you, the light's going to be all wrong. Test it out. Just kind of check out where your light's going, the big ring lights, whatever it is, use some type of lighting. Natural light from outside is fantastic. Use lighting. That makes you look so much better. The other thing, get a tripod. Make sure you have a tripod. And then I also have, what's it called? Because this one is super good. Hold on, I'm going to look at it. Where's, oh, man, oh, it's called something like Luna something, and it's actually a 360 camera that you can buy for $50, and it sits on your tripod, and it'll do the 360 photos so that you're not paying for, you know, hundreds of dollars for your video tours of a house. So I think that one's great. And then my other tip about doing videos, and I tell myself this almost every time I do a video, right here, I've caught myself of how I looked, and I'm like, ah, and I'm like, that's what everybody else sees, and that's what everybody else hears. So you might not look like how you look at that very moment or sound. Too bad, that's what everybody else gets every other day. So just deal with it, get over yourself, and not everybody's hair is going to look perfect or the shirt's going to be the right color every single day. Literally get over yourself and just do it. That's the hardest part, is just doing it.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'm missing right now, and I get a lot of the hardware setup tips from like TikTok. So I got like one of these for my tripod and all that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just missing the ring, and I see where they set it up, where they have it around the phone, so it's on, the lights on your face and all that.
Yeah. So I'll tell
cool.
you, don't even bother getting the ring. The best one, it's called Lume. It's Lume Cube. Hold on, I'll show you. So it is this. So this thing, hold on, let's see if it's still on. So it's a light just like that. And what's really good about it is, because I love a ring light, I'll tell you I do, because they're great, but they show up, you show up in the eyes, they're huge, they're clunky. The little small ones that they get for desktop versions aren't very bright. This thing is blinding that I have. It's awesome, but it can be blinding. I mean, it has settings, you can change it. And this is cheaper than a ring light. So Lume Cube, that's what I like. And it's portable. So this goes on my, it has a suction cup, cell phone, laptop, whatever you have, this is also going to go on it. And I love anything portability. I'm like, what can I use that I have less stuff to carry around with me? Because when you start getting into videos, you got all this stuff. You really do. So that's what I love, this Lume Cube, since I got it, because I was trying to find one to use in my office because my ring light, it was too big. And then I got like 3 different desktop ones, and none of them even compared to my big one. So I was like, well, these are going back. And then I found this thing. It changed my ease of life. This was great. So definitely consider that one.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm thinking nobody else has any questions, but before we get off here, I want to hear from 4 people of at least one thing that they're going to do that they learned today.
The Lume Cube.
Oh, Jamie's got Lume Cube. Doug just said consistent video. So I love that one, Doug. I tell myself that same thing every day. That's where it's at. Who else? I need a couple more.
Make sure your phone number is on everything.
Yes, you want people to easily be able to get a hold of you. That's very important.
2010-53.
Yes, I love the 2010-53. That's easy. And I'll tell you one more thing with that. When you're doing birthdays, instead of just going on somebody's page and saying happy birthday, posting a GIF or, you know, whatever you're doing, ask them what they're doing to make that day special for themselves. Because then what happens? You get responses. So go the one step further. I literally have it on my computer and I copy and paste it. That sounds really inauthentic right now, but I do want to know what people are doing. But that way you're going to touch everybody, almost everybody in your, you know, database, being Facebook, at least once a year, and you get to have an engaging conversation with them. Okay, give me one more. We have 1 minute, so give me one more before we get off. Oh, we're being shy all of a sudden, everyone. Oh, great class, learned a lot. Okay.
Hey, Tisa,
yes.
I just love the video that, oh shoot, now you got my name up there. Well, it's like you move and then the screen in back of you does it, and then the screen in back of that one does it, and I'm like, wow, so futuristic. This is cool.
Well, this is actually, that was my hack of, oh, how am I supposed to get this set up? So most people are out of the office today, and my laptop does not hook up to any of the AV equipment and visual effects that they have here in the office because I have a Mac, and Kevin's not here with my adapter that I usually steal from him. So for just this purpose. So yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm in a Mad Max movie, or, you know, just a futuristic movie. However, you're awesome, dear. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Tisa. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, go out there, do something fun, and get some more clients.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.